Hello everyone, welcome to Framework Educational Hub. Myself Aishwarya Saxena, and in the series of Python programming, we have done the controller statements till now. Today I am going to start with the concept of array. So today I am also going to introduce one new IDE to you all, and that IDE is PyCharm. Till now we were using IDLE, that was the default IDE which is provided by Python. So whenever you install Python into your system, the IDLE automatically get installed into your system. So till now we were using this IDLE. This was the editor, you can say this was the IDE, that is the integrated development environment which we were using till now. And today onwards I am going to switch towards the PyCharm. So I'm going to tell that how you can download PyCharm. You can directly search on the Google, download PyCharm. So jetbrains.com is the official website of PyCharm, and PyCharm is a very nice IDE which is developed for the purpose of Python programming. It is a very old IDE, you can see 20 years ago it was started. So you can see it's very nice IDE, and today onwards I am going to start with this. In this particular series we will be going through multiple IDEs, so you can just wait and enjoy different stuff which we will be discussing here. You can see the latest version was released on 26th August 2020, and that version is 2020.2.1. So this is the latest version. So if you are not still having, you are not having installed this PyCharm into your system, you can download this community version. So this community version is basically free of cost available, but the professional version is not free. If you will be downloading this particular version, it will be coming with a trial of maybe 1 week. So after that you have to purchase it. But I will recommend to download this community version, and you can download this community version free of cost. You do not have to pay for it. And all the program which we are going to do, and even more than that, like the machine learning or even the Django we are working with, then you will not face any problem if you are using this community version. So you can download it from this particular link, you can see. Don't worry, I will share the link in the description, so you can just use my link to download this particular software into your system. So you can see it's asking for a download. I'm already having PyCharm installed into my system, and that is one old version. See, this one is the newest, so it's 292 MB, and accordingly it will take that much time to be downloaded. Right now I am having PyCharm 19.3.1, but we can use any version, it does not make a difference. So if you have installed the PyCharm before and you are working on some project, so this screen first of all will be coming. So you just have to cancel and start a new project. And if you have installed this for the first time, so what will happen, you can see this particular window will be appearing in front of you. So you can just create a new project. I am going to open a folder on which we were working, in which we were saving the programs, like for the previous lectures in which I have saved the programs, that I am going to open here. So you can directly open your folder also if you are going with me, so you can just do that. So here I have just saved the programs, and I am just going to open this. So now it is launching, it is opening. The installation of PyCharm is really straightforward. You do not have to worry about anything. You just have to press next, and it will be installed into your system. So now you can see while loading, you are loading your project folder or you are creating a new project, so it will take few minutes, you can see, according to the system dependencies. So 1 or 2 minutes it will be taken for the first time, but when you will be opening it again and again, it will not take much time. So you can see the folder which we were using is here, the programs which we were doing. So you can see this was the last program which we did in the previous video. I hope you have watched the previous lectures. If you have not watched the previous lecture, you can just go through the series. The playlist is already given in the description, and the video which you are watching is in the same playlist of Python. Now I'm just going to start with the concept of array today. So I have created one new file And I just want to tell you that when we are talking about array in the concept in the programming language like Python, so the concept and the way of using array is different as compared to different languages like C, C++ or Java, which we have studied till now. If you have not studied any of these languages before, then it's another thing. But yes, if you have done any like C language or Java or C++, so you will find some differences. In the case of different languages, array we can use directly, but here we have to import one module, and that is one inbuilt module which you can directly use when you are working with the array programs. So I'm just going to import that array module from array import asterisk. So here I've just imported this module. Now I'm just creating one array. So here array is again a function, like this array is the module. This array is the name of module, and this array is a function inside this module. So here I am just creating one array of integer. I will just explain that what I am doing. Okay. So here I have taken two parameters inside this function. The first one is the data type, that is type code you can see, and this is I means integer, and this one is the list of the values which we want in the array. So this is compulsory to take two parameters here whenever you are using this array module, array function. Now I just can printing is so simple, we can just print it directly. There are 4 different methods of printing any array, so I will show you all the 4 methods in this video only. You can see this is the first method, and you can see the array is here now. There are some more functions related to array. I'm just going to demonstrate them to you. Like if you want to return the address and size of the array, so for the array, size of the array and the address, you just have to use buffer info, and this buffer info is used for the size and address. If you want to get the data type or you can say type code, so the data type here is integer, and how you will just get it with the help of this type code function. Type code is already given. These things like which we are using, this buffer info, this type code, they are inside this array module. That is the reason that we are able to use them. If you are not importing this module, you won't be able to access these methods. I'm just going to run this program, so you can see the array is here, the address and size. So this is the address and this is the size, that the 5 elements are there in my array, and this is the data type. It's representing I means integer. So there are different ways for different data types. In the case of array, if you are taking integer, you have to take I. If you are taking character, then you have to take U for unsigned char. So that we will see. Now I'm going to tell you the different methods, that how different ways you are having to print the array. Just for the printing, I'm going to tell in this video only. We will just discuss it. So see the video till the last. There are 4 different methods from array import asterisk, and suppose I just want to print the array now. First of all, I should take the array. So I'm just taking vals equals to array, and integer array if I want to take, and yeah, integer value array can also have negative values. It's okay if we are taking negative values, then also there is no problem. So now I'm just going to use the for loop for I in range of, I have taken 5 elements, so I'm just giving 5 here, and we just print it vals of I. So vals of I, this I have printed. Let's run it. It is a traditional way which we use in different programming language. It is similar to that. Using the for loop, you can print your array. So now after this, I'm going to tell you one more way of printing the array. For that, I'm just creating one more file, and the same output will be coming, but yes, the way of printing is different. It's up to you that which method you like, so you can use that only. This I have taken. So length of vals if I am taking, so whatever would be the length, it does not make a difference. We do not have to define the number, it will automatically take it. So this is another way of printing the array. And after this there is one more method which we will see here. So let me just show you another file, another program. So here you can just take for I in vals directly, and you can just print the value of I. This will also give the same output to us. You can see. So the output is same, but the methods are different. We are doing the same work with 4 different ways. So it's up to you which way you like. One more thing I would like to tell you here only, like if you want to print the reverse of the array, so you can do that also. Suppose I just want reverse of the array which we are taking. So let me just okay, vals dot reverse print, and I will just print the vals. So what will happen, like the reverse array will be printed now. So this way we have to make it. So you can see like this was our original array and this is the reverse array. If you want to print some element directly from the array, you can do that also. Suppose vals of 5, okay, vals of 4. So this way we can just fetch any index position also. Like you can see 44 value it is giving and it is correct, like on the 4th index, because we have reversed it. So 0th index, 1st index, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So on the 4th index 44 is there, so that is correct. It's giving the correct output. This way we can handle the array. There are multiple functions related to array that we will be seeing in different upcoming lectures. So stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe the channel and don't forget to press the notification bell, because after pressing the notification bell you will be able to get the latest uploads of my channel. So see you in the next lecture.